Right, don't worry if you don't have one, but if you have a thing that you can use as a strap handy, just grab hold of it. It's for later on when we do the supine Paddingastana kind of series where you're kind of on your back stretching your hamstring and you take your leg over to the left and the right. But if you don't have a strap, it doesn't matter. You can just do this by holding onto the back of your hamstring and do this series that way. But and just keep that to one side. We'll be using that later. We're just going to start off nice, comfortable seated position. Take the hands onto the knees, softly close the eyes. So this is an evening class, so the focus is going to be on really relaxing and softening the breath and getting into the hips, just really stretching out the hips, front, side and back, stretching out the back of the legs. Actually minimal vinyasa movement throughout the class because we don't want to build excess heat, raise the heart rate too much. And we'll start that process of just centering down and in with our breath. Using the breath to just take control of the central nervous system. And help it to move away from the flighty side of it and bring it into the calm side. And we'll just bring a little bit of a mantra into our breathing. So on the inhale, in your mind, quietly to yourself, we're going to inhale saying, I am balanced. And on the exhale, quietly say to yourself, I am calm. Let's do that 5 times. And the next time on the exhale, just blink the eyes open. We're going to start at the top of our mat, so we're going to come straight into a standing forward bend at the top of our mat. So make this a nice, generous to yourself standing forward bend. Feet about hip width distance, can be slightly wider apart. Take a good bend in the legs. Allow the chest to come towards the thighs. And the hands can stay down next to the feet, or you can grasp the opposite elbows and just let the head dangle between the arms. And if it feels good, you can just bring a gentle sway from side to side. So we'll be here for about 1 to 2 minutes in each of these deeper stretches, just to help release out the tendons, the muscles, the ligaments. And then come back to standing, just take the hands down towards the mat, step back to downward facing dog. And here in your downward facing dog, you can take a deep bend in the legs. So you want to come to about 70%, 75% of your normal depth of stretch in the pose. We're holding for just a little bit longer than in a standard vinyasa. And again, you can just gently pedal out the backs of the legs, even bring some side to side hip movement. And then look to the hands and very slowly once again walk your feet up to the top of the mat. Feet about hip width distance apart, soft bend of the knees. Slide forward into your Uttanasana forward fold. And once again, slowly bend the legs, take the hands down to the mat, step back, downward facing dog for the second time. Seeing if you can go that a little bit deeper the second time round. And then this time drop the knees down to the mat. Take the knees wide apart and take the hips towards the heels. Come through to child's pose. And then from child's pose, walk the hands over to the right edge of the mat. Take the left hand on top of the right. Really press down to the left hand to activate the left shoulder, left side body. Inhale, walk the hands back to center. Exhale, take them over to the left. Take right hand and press it down into the left hand. Create some nice traction and stretch in that right shoulder. Inhale, take the hands back to center. Come up through tabletop position. Back through to downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, step the left foot forward. And then you're going to walk your hands over to the right and then turn to the long edge of your mat. So you should be in a wide-legged forward fold. Take the hands into the center underneath the shoulders. Again here you can bring a slight flex to the leg, backs of the knees. From here, slowly just re-pivot that left foot back to the front. Come back through to that low lunge. And then step back downward facing dog. So we'll come into some lunge salutation variations from down dog. So on the next inhale, step the right foot forward. Lower the left knee down. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take hold of the right wrist with the left hand. And take the arms over to the left. So they're taking over to the left and back. So you get a slight back bend, but you're also getting a side stretch to the right. Inhale, come back to center, take the hands down, lift the back knee, step back downward facing dog. Next inhale, left foot steps forward, lower the back knee down. Inhale up first into crescent moon. Then take hold of the left hand with the right wrist, left wrist with the right hand, and then take the arms over to the right. So again, taking them over slightly to the side and back. So you get a slight little back bend and a side stretch. Exhale, take the hands down to the mat, lift the back knee. This time stepping forward to a halfway lift. Exhale, release down to a fold. Inhale, rise all the way up, Uttanasana. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. So 2 rounds of half salutations, and then we'll move into some 1 round of lunge-based salutations. Inhale, slowly take the arms up. Focus your nice and slow movement. Exhale, all the way down, Uttanasana, forward fold. Inhale, take the hands to the tops of the shins. Lightly press the hands in. Lengthen through the spine. Exhale, back down to a forward fold. Inhale, rooting through the feet. Rise all the way up. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. 1 more round like that. Inhale, slowly take the arms up. Exhale, coming slowly forward. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands to the tops of shins. Engage into the lower back, lengthening through the lower back. Exhale down to Uttanasana. Inhale all the way back up, Urdhva Hatha. Exhale, palms to heart center, Samasthiti. So one round of classical Surya Namaskar with a variation. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhaling into a fold. Inhale, bend the legs slightly, take the hands down, step the left foot back. Lower the back knee. Inhale, arms up, crescent moon. Exhale, cat, kiss the arms out. Draw the elbows down, open up through the chest. One more like that. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull down as if you're pulling down on a pull-up bar. Inhale, arms back, up high, crescent moon. Exhale, take the hands down. Lift the back knee, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, come down, knees down into a tabletop position. Next, inhale, lift the chest, take the tailbone up. Cow pose. Exhale, deeply round the spine. Cat pose, one more round like that. Inhale. Into cow. Exhale. Into cat. Inhale back to a neutral tabletop. Tuck the toes under, come back through downward facing dog. Next, inhale, step the left foot forward. Lower the back knee down. Inhale, arms up, crescent moon. Exhale, pull down with the arms. Send the open the chest. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, pull down the shoulders. Inhale, back up, crescent moon. Exhale, hands come down. Inhale, lift the back knee, step forward to a halfway lift. Exhale, release down to a fold. Inhale, circle the arms all the way up, Urdhva Hatha. Exhale, palms to heart center. Samasthiti. So one more variation, getting in a little bit more to the hamstrings. Inhale, Urdhva Hatha. Exhale to fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, lightly bend the legs, take the hands down, step right foot back this time. Inhale, lower the back knee down. So one time up, inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, take the hands down, take the hips back, straighten the left leg. Half splits pose or half Hanumanasana. Feel as if you're pulling back with the left thigh in towards the hip socket. You're pulling forward with the right quad and hip. Inhale, walk the hands forward. Lift the back knee. Step back, first downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the knees down. This time, kneel, knees wide, hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Inhale, look forward towards the hands. Start to take the chest forward, coming down onto a mat. The hands should be alongside the chest, elbows tucked in as if you were coming into cobra. And then inhale, lift the chest coming into cobra. Stay here or bend the legs. Feel as if you've tried to reach the head back towards the heels. Inhale all the way back to child's pose. Exhale, back up through tabletop, downward facing dog. Next, inhale, right foot steps forward. Lower the left knee down. One breath up, inhale, crescent moon. Exhale, take the hands down. Inhale, shift the hips back, half splits pose, half Hanumanasana. This time feel as if you're pulling the right thigh back into the hip socket and bringing the left quad forward. Inhale back through, take the hands down alongside the front foot, lift the back knee. This time we're going to step back to downward facing dog. Lower the knees down. And then come through to a seated position. So we'll start with staff pose, Dandasana. So legs extended out in front, feet flexed, toes pointing up. We're going to move through a section of seated hip openers before we come down for some supine hip openers. So take the hands just in front of the outer hips, hands pressing down into the mat. As you press the hands down, lift the chest and feel as if you're sending the chest forward. You want to feel as if you were pushing up and hovering the legs off the mat. Take the inhale, exhale, release the hands from the mat, take the legs out to a V. So we're going to come first into a twist on both sides, so from the legs extended out into a V. Stay here for the inhale in the center, and then exhale, look the hands over to the right side. Take the hands either side of that right leg. Stay sitting upright with the chest pointing towards that right knee. Or on the exhale, start to walk the hands a bit further towards the foot, taking the chest forward. But you want to try to keep the left hip rooted down onto the mat. I'm going to stay for about a minute each side for these seated hip openers, more yin restorative style than vinyasa. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands through center, take them over to the left side, either hand on the opposite side of the leg. Take an inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, either stay here with the chest pointing towards the left knee. Or on the exhale, walk the hands as far forward as you can to take the chest towards the knee, but making sure that you keep the left hip rooted down towards the mat. The right hip, sorry, rooted down towards the mat. Inhale, lift the chest. This time walk the hands to center for straddle fold. So you might be with the hands just behind the hips, pressing down through the hands, rooting the hips down, keeping the pelvis tucked, moving forward. Stay in this position, or you can take the hands in front of you, but only if you can maintain that pelvic tilt towards the front. If you start to round in the lower back, take the hands just behind the hips and keep an upright position. Inhale, look forward, walk the hands back in. Take the legs once again back together, extend it out in front of the mat. We're going to do slow roll down for our supine series before coming back up for some finishing seated poses. So slowly roll yourself down on the mat. Make sure if you're using it, you've got your strap handy. And then to start with, just bend the left leg so that the left foot is on the mat. Take the right thigh in towards the chest. If you're using a strap, you're going to hook the strap around the right foot. So if you hook it around the center of the foot, you get more of a stretch to the hamstring. If you hook it around the ball of the foot, you get more of a stretch to the Achilles calf. So you pick the place that you want to target on your leg, and then extend the foot towards the ceiling. If you're not using a strap, you're just taking your hands behind the hand, that right hamstring. And you can stay with the left leg bent, or you can extend the left leg out on the mat. What I'd like to emphasize here is really a nice extended long leg on the right side, as opposed to trying to get bending the leg and trying to get it as close towards the chest. So I'd rather it was out here and it fully extended, as opposed to kind of being in here with the leg bent. And whilst we're here in our supine padding gas mat, you want to really feel once again as if you're trying to root that right thigh down into the hip bone, whilst also working to press the foot into the strap if you're using it, or pressing the foot into an imaginary strap if you're not using one. One more breath cycle here. And then take both sides of the strap into your right hand. Take your left hand to the top of the left hip to root it down. Slowly take your right leg out to the side. You can bend the arm so the elbow becomes a kickstand to support the leg. Stretching out the groin, the inner thigh, inner hip muscles. And then inhale, take the leg back to center, switch hands. So that strap is now in your left hand. Just shift the entire body over towards the left side. And then lower the right leg across into a twist. Inhale, take the leg back to center. Bend the right leg, release the strap from the foot. Take the right foot now down onto the mat. Bend the left thigh in towards the chest. Hook the strap, if you're using it, around your left foot. Otherwise you're going to take hold of behind the left hamstring. So either you're targeting the strap around the midfoot for the hamstring, or you're taking it to the toes for the Achilles and calf. Either way, once you're here, rooting that left thigh in towards the hip, pressing that foot into the strap or into an imaginary strap. And you can keep the right leg bent, or you can extend the right leg out onto the mat, which will deepen the stretch in the hip. And then take both sides of the strap into your left hand. Take the right hand onto the right hip. Slowly take the leg over to the left. Again, you can bend the arm and use it as a elbow as a kickstand to support that left leg. Inhale, take the left leg back to center, switch hands, strap into your right hand, shift your entire body over towards the right, and then take the left leg over to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Release the strap from the left foot. Hook the thighs in towards the chest. And then either rock up to seated or roll to one side and then come up to a seated position. Re-extend the legs out in front. So we're going to finish off with in our seated work with Janu Sirsasana. So we've stretched out the hamstrings in our supine series. So we should get a little bit more of a deeper stretch when we come into Janu Sirsasana. So we're going to take our right foot in towards our left thigh. So either you're sitting up with the hands just behind the hips and you're sitting upright, tilting that pelvis forward towards that left leg, or you're walking the hands forward either side of the left leg, or you're taking one hand to the foot and one hand out to the side. Forget about trying to get the chest and the head towards the knee and the foot. Think more about really lengthening through the spine, opening up through the chest, and keeping that pelvis rooting forwards. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands back in. So from Janu Sirsasana, we're going to come into a half lotus, kind of half Gomukhasana variation. Take your right foot now and take the foot all the way over to the left side. You want knees roughly stacked on top of each other. Left leg will stay extended out. And from here again, hands are either behind the hips, pressing down, sending the chest and pelvis forward, or you're going to walk your hands in front of the right leg and bow the chest towards the right knee. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands in, uncross the right leg, extend it out, take left foot in towards the right thigh. So starting with Janu Sirsasana. So again, your option, hands just behind the hips, pressing in, extending to the chest, rooting the pelvis forward. Or if you've got enough of the pelvic tilt and you're not rounding to the back, walk the hands forward. Either they stay either side of the leg, or you can take opposite hand to foot, right hand out to the kickstand it out to the side. Inhale, lift the chest, walk the hands back in. So a half Gomukhasana, half lotus variation, walking that left foot over towards the right, working to stack the knees on top of each other. And as you did with Janu Sirsasana, the options are fingertips just behind the hips, keeping you in a nice upright, tilted forward position, or hands in front of that left leg, bowing towards the left knee. Inhale, walk the hands back in, uncross the legs, extend the left leg out. Final seated pose, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lift the chest, lightly press the fingertips down into the mat. Again, you're staying here if the lower back is tight and you're rounding through it, or you're walking the hands forward, folding from the hips, chest stays open, hands stay either side of the legs, or hands can come to the top of the feet, the side of the feet. But again, forget about trying to get chest towards thighs or head towards feet or knees. And think more about just staying nice and long through the upper body and extending nice and long through the legs. Inhale, lift, look up. Exhale all the way up and all the way back down onto your mat. Lying back down onto your mat. We're going to finish off with half happy baby's pose to take us into Shavasana. So the left foot will stay rooted down onto the mat, leg is bent, foot flat. Take the right leg into happy baby's pose. So either hand to shin, ankle or outside the foot. reaching down towards the mat, foot pressing into the hand. And we're here for 3 deep rounds of breathing. So we're going to do a 4 count, 5 count inhale, and then a slow 5 count exhale 3 times. So inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, hug the thigh in towards the chest. Exhale, slowly place the right foot back down onto the mat. Inhale, take the left leg into half happy babies. Take hold of the shin, ankle or foot. And we'll start here, inhaling for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Final round. Inhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hug the left thigh in towards the chest, and then you're going to slowly extend the left leg out onto the mat. Extend the right leg out onto the mat to join it. Take the arms, let the arms flop either side of the body. Allow the eyes to softly close. Come into our brief Shavasana.